Hi everyone, I'm Jyoti Singh and you are watching the Fluent Spoken English program with me. Today is session 2 of the root words and we are going to discuss in detail about the root word hyper. So let's begin. Hyper means too much, over, excessive or beyond. That means which is too much, exaggerated, beyond the limits. Right? So let's understand how we can use other words with hyper and make n number of words. The first one is hyperactive, which is made by two words hyper plus active. It means too active which cannot relax. Hyperfit, added the word fit to hyper. It means someone who is fit beyond normal. At times we see people who are too fit. Right? So we say he's super fit, hyper fit. Hyperbole. Hyperbole means an exaggerated statement or claim that is not meant to be taken very seriously. At times we exaggerate a statement or some paragraph in order to explain that, right? So it means hyperbole. Hypercritical, when something is too critical, inclined to judge too severely, it is called hypercritical. Hyperextend means to extend beyond normal limits. Hyperreal, right, which is beyond real, exaggeration of real. So it means too exaggerated to be real. Hypersensitive means which is too sensitive. Hypersimple, too simple or very simple. Hypertension, whenever someone is suffering from high blood pressure, we say hypertension. So it means a disorder in which blood pressure becomes very high. Hyperthermia. Thermia means high temperature. So when thermia word comes together with hyper, it means a condition in which body temperature is beyond normal. Hypertoxicity, it means excessive toxicity, right? So it is relating to excessively high toxicity. Hyperwakefulness. Wakefulness means to be awake, right? But when it is hyper, it means staying awake for too long or being unable to fall asleep. Hyperspace. It means a space which has more than 3 dimensions. Hypersonic. Sonic word relates to sound frequencies. So sonic word when comes together with hyper, it makes hypersonic, which means relating to sound frequencies which are over 1,000 million hertz. Hyperpyrexia. It means a state where body temperature is too high. Hyperthermia and hyperpyrexia means the same. Hyperirritability. So when irritability means to be irritated, right? Wherein a state wherein you become irritated easily. Now when the irritability word gets attached with hyper, it becomes hyperirritability, which is a state of being too irritable. Hypermarket. Market everybody knows. So when it's hypermarket, when market gets attached with hyper, it becomes hypermarket, which means a market that is very large, usually located outside a town. Hyperdontogency. It means having beyond normal number of teeth. So when you have beyond the normal number of teeth, it is a state which is called hyperdontogency. Hypergamy. Hypergamy means marrying someone whose class is beyond yours, who's more superior to you. And the last one is Hyperborean. It means relating to the inhabitants of overly north, right? So these were the 20 vocabularies which could be made by the use of word hyper. So it is easier for you to remember that hyper means high. So anything which gets attached with hyper means exaggeration or too much or excessive. Next Sunday we would be learning about the root word icon or icono, which means likeliness. So stay tuned. Thank you.